Hello friendos and randos, today we are going to go through some gameplay of the new EBO2 Green Purple Luffy leader, and of course we are going to be testing it against OB10's BDIF Blue the Flamingo. So this is the first time I'm doing some kind of me versus myself kind of testing, so let's get into it. So GP Luffy is going second this game. We have Sanji putting Luffy Taro, and we also have Going Merry, which is really good. So that's probably what we're going to do here. So Luffy's going to start us off one done with a Piranha. Then we're going to see we're talented. We are not very talented. But we will still go ahead and keep this on top. So we're going to draw, play, draw. Draw, play, draw, play. So let's do that. And then pass. So GP Luffy's turn, draw, done. So let's start off with a Nami. Actually no, let's start off with the Going Merry and then draw one card. And then we can pay one for Nami. And then look at top 5. Alright, we drew Sorojiro, so let's use that. So we're gonna try and ramp here. And then pass. So straightforward enough. Luffy 3 Don turn, 2 Don, 7k leader when attacking. Pay 1 Don. Mihawk. GB Luffy will just take that. Easy first hit. Alright. Don, draw. So Zoro Joe is really good here, but because we got the Zoro, we can actually try to poke some extra damage into this. So that's what we're going to try here. So we're going to play Zoro, and then rest the Piranha. And then we're going to Nami into the Piranha, because why not? And Luffy is going to let that go. And I'll 5 into Mihawk. And Luffy should probably have to counter here, because if but I will have to eat a second 5k swing, so I think the plan is probably just to let this go as well. And then when this goes 5 into leader, and the Luffy has to take just to increase hand size. And then we will pass turn. So it's back to Luffy's turn. We draw into the pudding. And then our top deck is the Moria. So we're going to just swing into the Zoro here, and then after that play the Moria. So 7k Zoro, that's 1 done. Play the Moria effect, we'll grab a Mihawk back. Then as DP Luffy, I think it's okay to just let go of this here. So we will let go. Now the Luffy is going to probably Sengoku, try and draw some more cards. So let's see. We do find a Jinbei Weevil Law. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of options. I think we take the Jinbei here. Just want to flood the board more. We put the rest at the bottom. And then we will pass the turn. So GP Luffy says, okay, thank you. We will refresh, draw. So here we just go Sanji and Pudding, I think is the most obvious option here. So we're gonna do that. Sanji and Pudding. 5, 6. So Don minus. Then we're gonna leader effect, Don minus 2. And then we get the +1 on leader. And then we also get 2 active Don. And then Sanji and Pudding effect, we get 1 more active Don, which is nice. Okay, so we do want to set up for Luffy Taro the next turn. We will have 7 Don, so I think we should just look for another Sanji and Pudding to go with it. But while we still have 5 Don, which is the same as opponent, let's use our Going Merry stage effect. So we are going to rest this stage and give the Sanji +2 cost, so it takes so it doesn't get removed by Jozu or by Gravity Blade. So that's really helpful. Okay, so we're gonna spend 1 Don. We're going to be looking for a good target to play off of Luffy Taro. So Nami. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So no good targets here for Luffy Taro. But we can take purple cards, so we are going to grab the Gigant here. And the rest of these can go to the bottom. And then we're just going to swing 6 into the Moria. So we are going to protect this Moria with the 2k that we took earlier off of the Moria. So Mihawk again. Oh. Okay, and then we're gonna spend 3 on Frankie. Just gonna ramp back 1 Rested Dawn on play. So we're back at 6. And pass. Alright, so Luffy's turn. Refresh. Draw. It's a law. Done. So if we do want to use leader effect here, we will have to teach. So I think that is the plan. So we're gonna teach here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hand only. We don't think there's a need to use that yet. So we're going to leader effect. Teach effect, and then we're gonna put the Jinbei on the top of our deck. And I think what we're gonna play off of the Jinbei is going to be, I think we'll just play the Moria. So we're gonna go 7k leader when attacking, rest 1 Dawn, play the Jinbei, and then the Jinbei's effect, we're going to play the actually no, we should play the Law first to bounce the Sengoku. So we're gonna play Law, and we're gonna bounce Sengoku, and we're also gonna bounce the Jinbei actually, because then we can just play the Jinbei again. So 7k leader. And then since this is only 2k counter, we're just gonna counter that early. And then we're going to play Jinbei Moria and grab that 2k back from trash. And now everything is active, so that's good. We say okay, we'll refresh and draw. That's really bad. Done. So we don't really have very good options here for the Luffy Taro. We can play a Zorjiro, we can play a Frankie, but they're not very good. I think what we do here is we just go Luffy Taro into... We might just go Luffy blocker into Frankie, honestly, here. I think that's the play. So we're gonna go... if we go Luffy blocker into Frankie, we can go Luffy into Zorjiro instead. So Luffy into Zorjiro. Trash the Nami. And then we're gonna lead the effect. Dawn -2. Set to Dawn active. And get the +1. And then Sanjay Pudding effect, we get 1 active Dawn. Then while we are at 7 Dawn, we're gonna rest the stage to make Sanjay Pudding 7 cost. And now we have 4 Dawn to play with. So I think what we will do is we're just gonna poke the Luffy for hand size. So we have 5, 5, 6, 7. I think that's the plan. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go 5 at leader. And Luffy sees this and goes, sure, we'll take 1k. And we're gonna go 5 at leader. And then when attacking, because we're at the same number of Dawn, we're gonna ramp 1 Dawn. Luffy sees that it's 5, 5, 6, 7, so it's gonna counter again, and then he's gonna take the 6 and 7. And then we're gonna go 6 leader. He does end up taking. And because the hand size here is actually kind of small, I think it's okay that we just decide to leave the Sanjay Pudding active, because we kind of do want to protect it, but at the same time, I think it's best here to actually just say pass and leave the Sanjay Pudding active. So that's what we're gonna do. So pass us over to the Luffy. Luffy says okay, sure. I forgot to rest the 4 Dawn faster, but yeah, you saw it, it's okay. Okay, so back to Luffy. It's their 9 Dawn turn. I'm gonna draw. We got a boa, which is nice, but we actually have all our Dawn available to just punch because of the fact that we have our entire board standing. So that's actually what we're gonna do instead. So we do have quite a few things to punch. So let's start off with one Dawn here and then punch into the Frankie. Seeing that, we're just going to let that go. Not worth defending that right now. Then we're going to go split our Dawn. I think we're just going to use Teacher's Effect on Weevil just to save us a card. So this is Leader Effect, and then we have 6, 6, 6, 7. So we can go 6, 6, 6, 6, 8. So because his hand size is really small, we're gonna try that. Alright, so let's do that. So 6k Leader. I'm gonna counter out with the Frankie. $6k Leader. We're going to, I think he so I'm counting here, he does have 6 Dawn left. I don't want to take 3 life no matter what. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to counter out of this one and then eat the next 2 swings. So 2k counter. Alright, so because he has only 2 hand cards, we're going to continue pushing poke damage. So 6k Leader. So with 5 Dawn left, we're going to expect like 7k, 8k swing. So we're just going to take 1. Okay, we got a 2k. And then we're going to go 2 Dawn on the law, 7k Leader. And with 3 Dawn left, it's going to be a 8k swing or a 7k swing with Leader Effect. So we're just going to take and see if we get a 1k. We did get a 1k. Now we're going to use the Teach Effect. And we're just going to put the Weaver on top. We have no rested Dawn, so we're just going to attach 2 Dawn to Leader and swing 7 at Leader. When attacking, we'll play the Weaver over the Teach. So messy. And then draw 1. And because it's a 7k swing, we're going to block and 1k. Okay, so back to the GP Luffy. 10 Dawn turn. Draw. Ooh, blocker here is pretty nice. Okay, so we can actually play Luffy Taro into Sangoro, but we will have to Leader Effect and choose not to ramble with the Sanji, but I think that's fine. So I think that's going to be the play here. So first things first. So maybe we just go 10k swing. 9k swing? 9k swing with the Sanji? Into Weaver perhaps? Yeah, let's do 9k into the Weaver. And 9k swing, we will counter out of that 4k. And GP Luffy will use Leader Effect, go Dawn -2. Can't set 2 Dawn active, and then we get 1 Dawn active back. Then we're gonna go Luffy Taro. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Dawn -1, and then that puts us at 8 to 10. Shit, it's 8 to 9. Never mind. Wait. So because of that, we actually have to not get the 1 active Dawn from Sangoro, which is Sanji Pudding, which is pretty sad. So we'll start with 8 Dawn, go 7 Dawn for Luffy Taro, and Dawn -1, and we'll play a Sanji from hand. That goes to trash. It's really rough. Leader Effect, we do get the +1. And with the Zorro, we will swing 5k into one of the bodies, get 1 active Dawn. And Luffy here just wants to guard, I think, so we'll just guard 1. we're gonna swing 6 into the, I guess we swing into Moria, and then we need to take. We do want to play around removal as much as possible, so we're gonna stage our Sanji. And I'm thinking whether it's better to swing with the Luffy here or not. He does still have 3 hand cards, but I think we should just take off one of the attacks. So we're gonna swing 7 into the other Moria. And we will take. Okay. That being said, I think it's time to pass. Alright. So we're in a very good spot still. So we're actually going to refresh. Draw. Done. We do have femur, so I do think it's best to just push the GP Luffy to 0 here, and he only has 2 hand cards after all, so we could, on one hand, we could also just Gravity Blade, because this is now 8 costs, right? So we Gravity Blade these 2, and he loses a pretty big source of damage, but we lose a lot of damage this turn, and I think it's better to just go damage this turn. So we're gonna go Boa, top 3. Well, we did get another Boa, so let's just do that. Unrested done, unactive done, and then let's just split the math. 6, 6, 7, 7, 7, 8, 7, 7, 7, 8. So that's going to be the play. So we're going to go 7k leader when attacking. Boa. And then look at the top 3 again. It's just a bunch of 2Ks, so we're just going to leave it there like that. Actually, no, we can just leave this at the bottom then, because we don't need any of this right now. And then Boa's effect, we will put 1 Don on the, I suppose, the law. So this is a 7k swing. We will counter 2k. And with that now, the Luffy knows that the last card in hand is Gigant. So he's just going to swing 6k leader normally. With 4 Dawn open, next option is a 10k swing with whatchamacallit, with femur. So I think we can counter our 10k, so we just have to take, no choice. Now on the Luffy side, we could just go 10k swing, or we could just swing 7-7. Sorry, 7-8. So I think we'll just swing 7-8 to kind of force the Gigant out. Right, so we're gonna go 6x9 instead. Because if we go 6x9, we actually force the Gigant out. So 6 leader. And then we have no choice but to, I guess we have to block this, right? Unblock. In case he has femur. And then we will swing 9 with the Weevil. To answer that, we will Gigant. And we have to drop the Rush card, which is very unfortunate. And down -2. Draw 2. Whew. Okay, lucky. Lucky that was a 9k swing. If it was a 10k swing, we could. And then we will, Luffy will pass turn with 1 blocker up and 1k counter in it. So GP Luffy not looking very good right now. Draw. Oh, wait a second. Suddenly there is hope. There is hope again. What a top deck. Okay, so we do only have 7 Dawn this turn, because we did try to push the Sanji out last turn. So what I think we can do is, because we will get 1 Dawn back from the Zorojiro, we'll do 6 with the Zorojiro first. 6 with the Zorojiro first, and then we will get 1 Dawn active, and then we can Uso Hachi, and then leader effect, we get 2 active, then we get 1 more, so we have 6 Dawn left. So we have 6, 6, 6, and then we have 6 Dawn. 6 Dawn, we have 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 7, 8. So actually this should come in from 7, right? This comes in for 7. We also Hachi. This comes in for 7. We also Hachi. Dawn minus 2. Dawn active 2. Plus 1. 7. Then we have 5 Dawn. 7. 4 Dawn left. 7, 8, 8, 8, 9. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay, let's go for that. So we're going to start with a 7k swing with the Zorojiro. We do have 5 swings after all. So 7k leader. Then we're going to take that. I'm going to trigger Fima and draw a card. 1k card. And then on attack we'll get 1 active Dawn. And with the active Dawn we will spend 3 on a Usohachi. Now we have 8 Dawn total. We'll rest the Boa. So clutch. And before we continue the swing, in case of Gravity Blade trigger, which we have done earlier, we're going to tap this and target Sanji. So he is now 8-7 cost. And then now we will leader effect. Dawn minus 2. Sorry, Dawn minus 2. Set 2 Dawn active. And then Sanji putting effect, we get 1 more Dawn active. Okay, so 7, 7, 7, 8, 8, 8, 8, 9. So the plan is 8, 8, 8, 9. So we're gonna start with 8 here. 8 leader. Luffy has to take. No trigger. We're going to go 8 leader. Luffy has to take again. Hey, no trigger. Oh. And then we're going to go 9k leader. And thank you very much. Yay! Okay. Wow, the GP Luffy won by a fucking hair. Oh my gosh. So it looks like it's actually still pretty tough, like to play this deck even because of the amount of board flooding, and if you leave everything active, it's very difficult to deal with. I guess in the later stages of the game, if you did have this to play off of the 7 cost Luffy, then you can actually deal with that one turn where everything was left active, but otherwise it's actually kind of difficult. So those were the lines. Let's talk about the deck list. Okay, hello friendos and randos. So that was the gameplay. Let's talk a little bit about the deck list. So Green Purple Luffy, as you know already by now, his effect is activate main once per turn, Dawn minus 2. If you only have Straw Hat Crew type character cards on your board, then you may set 2 of your Dawn active, and then after that, this leader gets plus 1000 power for until the end of your opponent's next turn. So that's pretty nice. We're going to... Sorry, let me just make sure. Yes, until the end of your opponent's next turn. So just note that this does get countered. The 1k does get lifted by 10 cost SEC Luffy. Alright, first things first, we have the 1 cost Nami Searcher. Just a very important consistency piece for the deck, making sure that we can find our pieces. It does hit both green and purple cards, so that's very nice. Next up, we also have the 4 cost Zorojiro Searcher. Notably, this only hits purple Straw Hat cards. So you aren't going to be able to hit like Nami Searcher, for example, but it is still a very important consistency piece for the deck. Next is arguably the most important card in the deck, which is the 5 cost Sanji and Pudding. During your turn, once per turn, if 2 or more Dawn are returned to your Dawn deck at once, then you can set 1 Dawn as active from your Dawn deck. And then on play, if you have equal or less Dawn than your opponent, you get to draw 1 card. So it helps you to refill your hand as well. Pretty nice. The synergy with that is also with the 7 cost Luffy Taro. Play a 5 cost or lower purple Straw Hat character card from your hand, so you get to play Zorojiro or your Sangoro as well. Sanji and Pudding, sorry. Then we have also 3 of the 7 cost Film Green Blocker Luffy. So this gets to play both purple and green cards, so this also does let you play the Zorojiro to help you search, and it's also a very good blocker. But more importantly than that, it also has a very interesting synergy with the 6 cost Sanji blocker. This card also has a secondary effect where it has, if you have 2 Dawn or more less than your opponent, then this card has -3 cost in your hand, so it's a 3 cost character. So you can actually play this off of both Luffy Taro and the film Luffy, as you saw in the video earlier. So that's a very nice synergy you can use, especially because your leader effect already puts you at Dawn -2. Next 2k counter we have is the 3 cost Osohachi, very important 2k counter, Straw Hat type, so it's searchable, and then if you have 8 or more Dawn on your board, you get to go give rest one of your opponent's 5 cost or lower characters, so very strong. The last 2k counter we have is the film EBO1 Sanji. It is here mainly as a 2k counter, which can also be played as a body off of the film Luffy. And of course it's Straw Hat, so it's searchable. And if you do have enough rested Dawn, this actually becomes a 7k beta for only 1 Dawn, so that's pretty nice as well. We're also running 2 of this new EBO2 Zoro. I'm trying to figure out what to put in this slot. I think it's not a bad choice. It does help you have like rush into characters, which is nice. So it helps you deal with like Doc Q, I guess. Right, then we have some ramp options, so more like re-ramp options really for this deck. So first you have Zorojiro. Generally you want to play this on your 3 Dawn turn if possible. And then we can use this to play into the Sanji and Pudding, and then next turn you get to Dawn -2, you ram 1 back, and then the Zorojiro also lets you ram 1 back, so that's very nice. We're also playing for Frankie. He's on play. When attacking, you get if you have the same or less Dawn than your opponent, you get to ramp 1 rested Dawn. So notably this is rested, so it's a bit worse than Zorojiro, but you also get the on play effect, which is nice because the Zorojiro very rarely sticks, especially in this meta. Next we're playing 4 of the 2 cost blocker Chopper. So notably this isn't actually a Straw Hat Chopper. This is when he was briefly part of the Foxy Pirates, so he's actually not searchable, and if you have him on the field, you actually can't activate your leader effect. However, what's important to note is that when you activate your leader effect, as long as there are no Straw Hat characters on the field at that point, then you still get to use the effect, and then after that, with the 2 active Dawn that you get back, you can play this Chopper, use it as a blocker, and then you get 1 rested Dawn back, and the next turn when your opponent swings, you just use it as a blocker, so he won't be on your field by the time your next turn comes along, and then you can use your leader effect again and rinse and repeat. So that's why I'm including him. I've also considered Roshinante as an option, the 2 cost Roshinante blocker. I think that's not a bad choice as well. Next we have 2 of the SEC Luffy, 6 costs. If your leader is mixed color and your opponent has 5 Dawn or more on the board, this character has rush, so it means you cannot ramp to this guy, which is pretty lame. So if you ramp on 3 to 6 and your opponent still at 4 Dawn, you cannot play this down and have rush, which is, yeah, it's a bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. Then the second effect is when attacking once per turn, you may return 2 of your active Dawn to your Dawn deck, and then after that set this character as active and then take 1 life from your life. So he gets to swing twice basically. It's not bad. Otherwise it's just a 6-7 rush, which is not too bad either. Next we have 2 of the Going Merry stage. I think this is pretty important to actually just make sure your cards are harder to remove, which is pretty important in this meta. Being able to protect your Zorojiro, for example, or even your Sanji Pudding is going to be very, very important against black decks, against Doflamingo especially. So you can see there, that game where I have the Going Merry stage, I can protect Sanji Pudding from getting Gravity Bladed, which is pretty important. And then lastly, we're just running 2 of the Gum Gum Giant. This deck goes down on Dawn very much, so you are very unlikely to be at 10 Dawn for multiple turns in a row, especially if you keep going Dawn -2. That's why we're only running 2 copies. I think it's good as a defensive card still. You still want to have at least 1 copy in your deck. 2 is just good for consistency. But I don't think you can afford to run 4 in a deck like this, because you can't really afford to chain it every turn. So that is the deck list. You can see from the lines of play that it actually does have a lot of options as far as the deck goes. It is very much just like a purple or green kind of curve based deck. It doesn't really have that many like tempo or removal options like right now. In terms of like the Straw Hat cards, the closest thing you have to like a tempo option is like playing Zoro and then punching something, which is not great. But the main focus of this deck is to just flood as many characters as possible. So you can see the Luffy Taro-san Pudding play and then the film Luffy Sanji play are some of the key parts of the deck. Of course, Luffy Taro Zorojiro or Luffy Zorojiro are also very, very good. The 7k blocker is very significant, and the 6k base leader actually makes for some pretty awkward turns for your opponent. However, just by nature of the deck not having enough removal options, I think that's going to be one of its biggest weaknesses. Because it does not have those removal or tempo options, it's going to suffer against a majority of the other decks in the meta right now, especially against like Doflamingo, against Shanks, against Purple Luffy even. You're probably going to struggle compared to those matchups. Now, for a few notable omissions from this deck list, I've chosen not to include the 3-cost Robin blocker. I feel that there's no time for you to be able to Dawn -1 to play it and search for something. Even though it is like a 3-cost blocker, you can play it if you leader effect and you have Sanji Pudding on the board. The issue is that if you don't get to stick that Sanji Pudding, Chopper is actually much more efficient, and it also lets you continue to advance your Dawn, which is more important to me. Another omission is the 4-cost Film Brook. I did consider it as an option. I think it was initially in these 2 Zoro slots, but I did want to test this card out. It is not a bad call because you are able to play it off of the Film Luffy, and then it can play you the Film Brook, and then you can also play the Zorojiro. You can play Sanji even if you are that low on Dawn, and you can play the Robin blocker if you do include it. But because I chose not to include the Robin blocker, I also decided to not include the Brook in this slot. That being said, pretty excited to continue testing the deck. I think it's pretty fun. It has some pretty nice combos. You can flood the board really quickly. The issue is just whether you can keep your board sticking, and that's why I felt the need to include the stage. But I think I'll continue testing the deck, and we will see how the EBO2 meta continues to evolve. That being said, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and follow me on X for more One Piece card game and other card game content. Thank you so much for your support, and I will see you guys again next time. Friendos, randos. Peace out.